I think one of the great things about developing apps, as opposed to sort of the traditional model of developing software, is that apps can be sort of small, meaningful to a targeted population, and manageable in terms of the way you think about it. So for an entrepreneur who's thinking about new ideas, they can think about something very targeted, and they can develop that without having to build a huge application and all the infrastructure that goes with that. So I think it's a matter of sort of like having targeted thinking about it that then allows someone to easily develop the ideas and make those in software. But I think that's the great thing about developing apps is that they can be small and meaningful and specific, unlike sort of the traditional view of software engineering. I think the first thing to understand is that failure is good. So oftentimes when people think about developing this, that their first app is going to sell millions of copies. And that doesn't really happen to anybody. You know, maybe there's one person in 10 million or 100 million that happens to. But what does happen is that you can make an app, you get it out there, you get feedback on it. Sometimes it's negative feedback. People are going to say, I hate this. But if they say, I hate this because, you can learn from that. And you can make your next app much better than the last one. And what happens over time is that you learn from your own past mistakes, and that you also develop a reputation of someone who has learned from their feedback. And people really respect that. When a community makes comments on something and you make improvements that reflect that, the community embraces that and sort of gives you the positive feedback that you need in order to sell that next app. So I think my lessons are around, like, it's okay to take small steps. It's okay to sort of have that first initial failure, but don't be discouraged. Learn from that. Understand that it's a process that takes several iterations along the way to be successful. And I think that most people who do stick with that after a while, they do have some success. Again, it may not be selling 1 million copies of your application, but you'll sell 1,000, 10,000, on up from there. And there's good data that shows that the more apps that you create, the more copies you sell of those successive apps because of that kind of learning that goes on. The great thing about App Inventor is that you can develop a really simple application in a matter of minutes. You can get something simple up on the screen that shows, for example, some pictures and some sounds that go with them, and you'll have something you can distribute to a few friends. But the other thing is that it has, so that we call that a low floor. It's an easy way to get a step up there. But it also has a high ceiling. The place that you can reach to is really far. It's not a programming language just for kids. It's one that's accessible to kids, but it's something that you can actually develop full-fledged applications in. And there's a nice sort of gradual progression that you can go along the way. It's not like you flip from easy mode to advanced mode. It's something where you can just kind of keep adding those things over time. So it's really great that you can get that easy start and then keep going on up to professional applications from there.